Behind me is HICKORY'S. This is an American South-themed barbecue chain in the UK. It's now owned by Greene King, having been owned by a private equity firm before this. There's loads of them in the UK, but they're all in the northwest and Midlands, making their way down south. This one is in Milton Keynes. Is it any good? I've no idea, but as a wise food blogger once said, let's give it a go. So this is HICKORY'S. This one is in Milton Keynes. Now, in my London-focused food review channel, obviously Milton Keynes is not in London. But this is the closest one of these to London. This is a chain that kind of started in the northwest and is kind of working its way down. So I'm going to put a little bit of a map up in here. I remember seeing a review by Gary Eats about this a while ago, and I haven't gone back to go and look at that review to find out what he thought about it. I think he quite liked it, but I'm not sure. So this HICKORY'S is in Milton Keynes. Now, first of all, Milton Keynes, I think it's a really nice town. I've had dealings with Milton Keynes a few times over the past 20 years. I actually love it. I think it's a really underrated town. It's, I always describe it as being a bit like Guernsey, which no one ever really understands. But if you've been to Guernsey, it's kind of like this nice self-contained community where everyone kind of helps each other out. It's a very supportive environment. It's like a genuinely decent town. But we're talking about food. So HICKORY'S is a chain of barbecue restaurants, started in the northwest. This one is the closest one to London. So on my London-focused food review channel, we are in Milton Keynes today. This is at the old Caldecott Arms. I didn't know this was a HICKORY'S until I was driving through Milton Keynes the otday and noticed all the signage outside for HICKORY'S. This place is rammed. Like, even the bar is full, right? So I don't quite know what's going on here. Is this a whole load of people that are just being grifted into thinking this place is good, or is it genuinely good? Like, I'm nervous about how good this is going to be. Watched a review by Gary Eats a while ago. I actually don't remember how that review worked out, and I haven't gone back to look because I didn't want to be biased going into this. On paper, it doesn't look good, right? This is, you go onto the website, it's all kind of like, oh, you know, we went to the American South, or we discovered barbecue and came back. All this kind of corporate bullcrap you get on a website. Then they had 3 of them, sold them to a private equity chain called Piper. Piper then sold it to Greene King. Greene King are now using it as a kind of a, in fairness, like they've really diversified it away from the sort of Miller and Carter kind of harvester or the branded places that they do. I don't know, but on paper it doesn't look good. It looks like it's going to be frozen, microwaves, but I'm really not sure what we're going to get. So let's have a look at the menu. Because it's still breakfast time, they've got a brunch menu, and this has got like muffins and American breakfast, muffins, Bloody Mary, pancakes. Okay, but we're here for the main. I kind of want barbecue. They've got like half a rack of ribs, skewer, pulled pork, smoked brisket sub. That sounds good actually. Half hickory chicken, pork belly, 8-hour beef rib. They do a platter which is 36. I think that's the thing that Gary Eats had. You know, I think he had the platter. I don't want that. They've got burgers. Oh, I didn't even capture the video of the burgers. They've got fajitas, burgers, salads. Right, that's a lot of variety to be fair. Okay. Got some starters as well. Am I going to get some appetizers? I'm not going to get starter because I don't really fancy it. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Cheers. Thank you. Thanks very much. Yeah, lots of options for sides. Yeah, they've got a lot of things on. I think I'm just going to keep it really basic. I think I'm just going to go for a half... Oh, hang on, what's this? Texas-style brisket, well-marbled Black Angus, bourbon gravy. Okay, I'm just going to get the ribs. I think there's the one thing I understand best, so I'm going to do that. I should say that there's a non-zero chance that people looking at the intro might have noticed that absolutely mint condition Golf Mark II in the out the front. So I did go out of my way to actually get some footage of that. Here it is. Absolutely beautiful example. I thought the car park was busy because it's near Caldecott Lake, and I thought people were here for the lake, but I think they're here for the place. Oh, I should mention you get like a little popcorn. Actually, that's quite a big popcorn. I don't like popcorn, so I'm not going to eat that. Oh, and the other thing, where I'm sitting, you can see where they're kind of prepping stuff, which is less nice than it looks. Hold on one sec. Yeah, I'm not in love with the plasticky nature of what's going on here. I guess, that's probably... Is that reality? Do I need to see that? Is that good? Is this improving my experience or not? We need to talk about the ambience as well. Like, they've really gone hard on making this like the American South. Like, the music's the same, all the branding, everything that you could possibly imagine. Like, every sign is trying to make you think like you're in the American South. It's quite something. Definitely, again, trying to differentiate away from Miller and Carter style places. Actually, I'll tell you how hard they go after the whole kind of American South thing. the person just came over to take my order, and he's got this really kind of thick London, oh, governor kind of accent. And it's like, it really takes you out of it. It's kind of like, what are you doing here? It's kind of, you'd think they'd, probably, my top tip would get the staff to put on an American accent, that will help. So the food's arrived, and the person who's delivering it said, oh, do you want any sauces? And I was like, fired back, oh yeah, what sauces have you got? She said to me, we've got every sauce. And I was like, have you? Have you really? She said the usual stuff, and I was like, hey, have you got any? She said she had some hot sauce, and she's now gone off to go and find me every hot sauce. So on the table I had this Piña de Luz one from Ricante. You've got this habanero honey mustard. She went and found me this tamarindo Ricante one. I don't know that brand of hot sauce, but I do like hot sauce. So at this point I'm thinking that Gary Eats review must have been good, because although obviously this is in the wash up bit, but kind of all the service is a little bit slow. Okay, they have gone and got me some more hot sauces, so I'm going to try the chips. Always a good benchmark. They're okay. They could be a bit crispier. I'm going to try them with some of the sauce.
How's that half
That's a nice sauce, actually. I'll try this one. That would be really good in a burger. Yeah, that's not a chip dipping sauce. That's a burger sauce, definitely. Right, let's try some of the pickle first. Actually, I always like a bit of random pickle. A friend of mine always watches these videos. He's got a dog called Pickle, which I think is just the best name ever for a dog. Yeah, that's good actually. Lots of flavour. Actually, this should be good because they definitely put a lot of flavour investment in. Try some of this coleslaw or some of this slaw. That is not good, but I don't think it's the sauce's fault. The slaw's fault. I think it's mine. It's just a bit bland. Okay, so always risky. I'm going to eat because I'm on camera, I'm going to do this rib with a knife and fork. Hold on, I'm going to slice it. Well, let's try and see if we can get some video of me of how easily it separates or cutting. Touch concern, that was harder to do than I was expecting. Let's get a bit off. Right, here we go. Yeah, I mean that's nice enough. It's not too fatty. Let's try eating some a bit more. In a way that I'm not going to film. This is one of these ones where I don't really know how I feel about it. I think I'm probably just going to work my way through it and then wash up the review. My sauce for the chips is excellent, really good. Well, let's try some of these other hot sauces, seeing she went out of her way to open the bottle for me. Oh, this is a Caribbean jerk. Okay, yeah. Fine. I'm going to do the review outside because, as you know, I'd usually like to go somewhere else. But in Milton Keynes, the only place to really go is Hotel Latour, which is in town. Hotel Latour, I should say. Can't be bothered to do that. It's too far. And Caldecott's really nice, right? So, I mean, I don't really like being outside as a concept. People do, and it is nice here. It's a shame they've actually opened some of the tables because, as I mentioned when I sat down, they didn't have any tables outside. They only had very limited availability. So, just as a sidebar, somebody has sold them on this idea that they're going to give them little tablets where they can do a net promoter score when you pay the bill. I don't want that in my life. I hate net promoter score at the best of times. Whoever invented the idea that every time you buy something from Argos, you have to get an email rating what you buy, I hate it. And I definitely don't want it at the end of a meal. So please don't do that. Please. It's inevitable. Everyone's going to be jumping in that. Everyone's going to be selling because it's such a simple thing to build from a software perspective. And there's a really, the lock-ins. Oh. Yeah, sorry. It just dawned on me how many people are going to do that. How do I feel about it? So what I'm going to do something really unusual. I'm going to do my review, then I'm going to go and watch Gary Eats' review, and then I'm going to come back and sort of do a little tag on this, which is where I post watching his review. The service, I think they were trying, but it sort of didn't really land. It sort of had this kind of vibe about being reasonably unfriendly, but I don't think they were necessarily doing that deliberately. I think I'm going to have to... But it wasn't bad. It was a bit slow. I think I'm going to have to rate it 2.5 for a chain like Green Kit to be not really landing the service. I think is not. I didn't do this in order. Ambience. Again, they've really tried. They've really tried really hard. The funny thing about Caldecott is I remember it being quite nice in there, and they've sort of they've done this whole kind of American South theme throughout, and I think they've kind of weirdly ruined some of the charm of the original building, but they have really tried. So it's consistent. I don't like the fact that they have this kind of open 8 days a week thing, and I think if you're carrying any kind of neuro spiciness, that's going to really set you off, because it's not logical. I think as a younger man, I actually would have flat out refused to eat here because of that open 8 days a week thing. Anyway, yeah, the ambience, I'm going to give it 4. The food, I'm not confident it's really helpful for me to be saying Harvester, Miller and Carter, TGI Fridays, they're all kind of, they want to be similar brands to that. I haven't done a review of Harvester because if I'm going to go and do a review of a Harvester, it's not going to come out well. If I go and do TGI Friday, it's not going to come out well. Miller and Carter is Harvester, so there's no point, right? If you want this sort of food, scores aside, if you want to come to a chain, you want a bit of a family atmosphere, you want a bit of a buzz, and you actually want the food to be good, you should come here. Definitely. If you want... Don't go to Harvester, don't go to TGI's, don't go to Miller and Carter. Whatever they've kind of done lands. But I think whatever they've done is they've marketed it really well. I don't think the food is necessarily all that. One of the things I think they've tried to do is add a lot of flavour. The food here really is very intense flavours, but it isn't really done with any sophistication. So I've got a friend of mine who is an absolute world-class genius at combining street food flavours to create a really kind of banging, dirty, kind of absolutely satisfying street food flavour, and that's what they haven't done. It's not street food, and that's what they should be doing, right? They should be kind of going, these are the flavours of the American South, let's take a little bit more inspiration, let's get some Caribbean jerk in there, let's do some kind of Creole, Cajun, barbecue, all of this stuff, let's try and mix it together and do something really different. And they kind of haven't done that. They've basically gone kind of a slanderous comment. This is kind of how I would solve this problem on the cheap. How much MSG can we load in it? How much salt can we load in it? What can we do to kind of really make it hit you? And that is what I think they've done. So it is really flavourful, but it's not done with much sophistication. So I would certainly expect any independent place that you go to, or smaller place you go to, like Bodian's, for example. I thought that was a genius thumbnail, but the algorithm didn't like it, which is on their video. It's kind of like, barbecue that pigs would vote for. Is there necessarily what they said they were going to start from the website, which is kind of like, look, we really love this sort of food and we want to do it authentically. Has that sort of survived? I don't think it has. So I'm going to give the food a 3 as a result. The price, I think the pricing's really decent. I think it is. And I wonder if, again, that's part of the marketing. I wonder if that's semi-tactical, that they've basically gone, don't go to Harvester, don't go to Miller and Carter, you should come Carter and come here. Like, I got half a rack of ribs with a Diet Coke, service included, for £22. It's extremely good. I'm going to give the price 4. I think that's down the middle, isn't it? That's a score of 3. 3, exactly 3. So And again, it's one of those ones I have to kind of fiddle around with the recommendation a bit. The score is in the middle, so it goes in the good list. Brilliant's got a score of 3, but definitely give Harvester a swerve, give Miller & Carter a swerve. I mean, this assumes you're somewhere where there's going to be, but I presume they're going to grow these things like Topsy everywhere. I also assume that once they've established enough market share, they're going to up the price a bit. Definitely is where you should go, and don't do Harvester, Miller & Carter and TGI. Well, I'm pleased to say that my review and Gary's review have kind of reached the same agreement. He was really impressed with it. I think he was more impressed with the actual food than I was, but I think in fairness, I wasn't reviewing this from the perspective of, is this a good restaurant? I'm like, actually, is this a good barbecue restaurant? And I think, especially because the things I'm trying to focus review on are more central London, they're more specialist. Again, I think it stands by that. I think it's very capable. I think it's very good. Interestingly, he also brought up the same, don't go to Harvester. In preference to picking this up. You know, Gary's got enough followers that he doesn't need me to say go and watch his review, but anyway, go and watch Gary's review. Yeah, really, okay, it was good positive one today. So I've been watching YouTube for 10 years. Every time a creator says on a channel, please like and subscribe, I always roll my eyes. Now that I'm doing a channel, I realise why they do that. It makes a huge difference to get your support, to get those follows, to get those likes in. So if you do like my content, it'd be greatly appreciated. But anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.